Part 1. The hidden threat behind normal aging. Have you ever looked at someone you love, a parent, a grandparent, and quietly wondered, why do they seem so different lately? Maybe they seem tired all the time. Maybe they're unsteady when they walk or forget simple things more often. Most of us chalk it up to what we think is just old age. But what if I told you it might be something else? Something silent, dangerous, and deeply misunderstood. What if behind the slow steps, the lost sparkle, and forgotten names, there was something eating away at their strength day by day? It's called malnutrition. But I'm not talking about famine or poverty. I'm talking about hidden malnutrition, the kind that happens quietly in homes just like yours and mine. The kind where someone can eat 3 meals a day and still be undernourished. And here's the real shock. It affects millions of older adults, not just those in hospitals or care facilities. We're talking about grandparents living independently, parents who still drive and run errands, elders we trust to be fine, but who are quietly losing the nutrients their bodies desperately need to stay strong, think clearly, and feel alive. Why is no one talking about this? That's why I made this video. Because aging doesn't have to mean fading. And if we don't talk about this now, we risk letting our loved ones slip through the cracks of something we could have prevented. Let's begin where the signs first show up. Fatigue, dizziness, weakness, memory lapses. Most people see these as the natural toll of time, but more often than we realize, they are the body's warning signs. Malnutrition weakens immunity, increases the risk of falls, worsens chronic diseases like diabetes or heart problems, and even leads to longer hospital stays and slower recoveries. So again, I ask, why aren't we paying attention? One reason is that it doesn't look like what we expect. When people hear malnutrition, they picture someone dangerously thin or starving. But here's the truth. Many older adults dealing with malnutrition don't look underweight at all. Some may even be overweight. But their bodies are missing the essential vitamins, minerals, and proteins that fuel strength, energy, healing, and cognition. Let me give you a real example. I once visited a neighbor, an 81-year-old widow who still lived on her own. She had food in the fridge. She ate every day. But she told me she had no energy to garden anymore, something she used to love. Her memory wasn't sharp like before, and she had recently fallen in the shower. To her, these were just old age. To me, they were a call for help. A quick nutrition check revealed she was low on vitamin B12, protein, and calcium, despite eating normal meals. Her story isn't rare. It's everywhere. So where do we begin? We start with awareness. Because the signs of malnutrition often whisper before they scream, and we fight back by understanding the root causes. Let's talk about the first one. Loss of appetite and changes in taste. Have you ever heard an elder say, "I just don't feel hungry anymore"? It's not in their head. It's in their hormones. As we age, hunger hormones like ghrelin decrease. The stomach empties more slowly. Seniors feel full longer, even when they haven't eaten enough. And on top of that, taste buds shrink. Food loses its flavor. Meals feel more like a chore than a pleasure. Imagine how disheartening that is. A favorite meal that once brought joy now feels bland. A beautifully cooked dish, now tasteless. It's no wonder some older adults start skipping meals, not out of choice, but because their body no longer craves food the way it used to. But here's the beautiful part. We can change that, not with more salt or sugar, but with natural flavor. Add a splash of lemon juice, a pinch of fresh herbs, a spoonful of olive oil with garlic, or even vinegar to stimulate appetite. Try vibrant foods, bright vegetables, colorful fruits, and rich, warm spices. The goal isn't just nutrition, it's to make food exciting again. Meals don't have to be big. In fact, small, frequent, nutrient-rich snacks often work better for seniors. A Greek yogurt with honey and berries, a smoothie with protein and almond milk, a boiled egg with whole grain toast. These small efforts add up to something powerful. Strength, energy, joy, and let's not forget the emotional part. When an elder tells you, food doesn't taste right, believe them. That's not a complaint, it's a signal. Review their medications with a doctor. Some drugs alter taste or suppress appetite. Sometimes just adjusting a prescription or adding a supplement can reignite their relationship with food. Because eating isn't just survival, it's celebration, culture, love. And if we want our loved ones to thrive, not just exist, we have to bring that love back to the plate. Directed in the next part, we'll dive into one of the most overlooked and painful causes of poor nutrition in seniors: oral health. You won't believe how something as simple as ill-fitting dentures can spiral into fatigue, depression, and dangerous weight loss. So stay with me. What you learn could change a life, maybe even yours. Part 2. When eating hurts, the overlooked link between oral health and... Imagine this. You're sitting down to a meal you once loved, maybe a juicy roast, fresh veggies, or even a crisp apple. But with every bite, something feels wrong. Chewing is painful. Your gums are sore. Your dentures slip, and suddenly, mealtime becomes a moment of stress, not joy. Now imagine that happening every single day. This is a hidden reality for millions of older adults, and yet we rarely talk about it. In this video, we're diving into one of the most overlooked yet powerful contributors to senior malnutrition: oral health. And if you think this is just about teeth, think again. Poor dental health is not just uncomfortable, it's life-altering. Let me ask you something. If eating started to hurt you, how often would you eat? For many seniors, the answer is less and less. Tooth loss, gum disease, ill-fitting dentures. These challenges don't just affect smiles. They affect what we eat, how we eat, and ultimately, whether we eat at all. Foods rich in protein, fiber, and essential nutrients, like meats, raw vegetables, or nuts, often become too difficult to chew. So, people start avoiding them. Instead, they turn to soft processed foods. Crackers, white bread, pudding, instant noodles. They're easy to chew, yes, but they're also low in nutritional value. And just like that, malnutrition creeps in quietly, masked by a full stomach, but an empty nutrient profile. And here's the heartbreaking part. Most seniors don't complain. They assume the pain is normal or that discomfort is just something they have to live with as they age. But that is simply not true. No one, at any age, should have to choose between eating and hurting. So what can we do? It starts with rethinking how we talk about dental health. Dental pain isn't minor. Ill-fitting dentures aren't just part of aging. These are health issues with real, preventable consequences. That means regular dental checkups, even for those with full dentures. Gums change shape, dentures shift. Infections can develop silently. Seniors need and deserve the same level of dental care as anyone else. Tooth pain is not normal. If your loved one says chewing hurts, listen. Don't dismiss it. Don't wait. There might be inflammation, ulcers, or broken dental appliances causing distress. Dry mouth? That's a side effect of many medications and can make eating even more difficult. But solutions exist, from hydration strategies to mouth sprays or lozenges. Next comes rethinking what food looks like, because soft food doesn't have to mean boring food. Try this. Pot tofu slow cook stews that melt in your mouth. Curry rice ground turkey instead of steak. Spoon mashed sweet potatoes blended with Greek yogurt. Teacup without handle lentil soup simmered with warm spices. Cup with straw power smoothies with nut butter, oats, banana, and protein powder. These meals are gentle on the mouth, but rich in protein, vitamins, and fiber. We're not just feeding bodies. We're restoring dignity and enjoyment. Let me share a story. One of our viewers, Susan, reached out to share her father's transformation. At 78, he was losing weight rapidly. He said food had lost its appeal. After months of testing, it turned out his dentures no longer fit and were rubbing sores into his gums. Once they got a proper adjustment and started blending his meals with bold flavors and soft textures, his appetite came back. He started smiling more. Sitting down at the table became something he looked forward to again. Sometimes it's not the body that's broken, it's the bite. There's also a mental and emotional layer to oral health. Think about how confident you feel when your teeth are clean, your breath is fresh, your smile is bright. Now imagine losing that confidence. Hiding your mouth. Skipping meals with family because you're embarrassed or ashamed. That emotional toll is real. And when we help our elders eat without pain, we're not just improving nutrition, we're rebuilding confidence, connection, and joy. So here's the takeaway. White heavy checkmark dental discomfort is not a minor issue. It's a major contributor to malnutrition. White heavy checkmark, it is preventable, manageable, and treatable. White heavy checkmark, and most importantly, every senior deserves meals that are not only safe, but satisfying. Because every bite should feel like nourishment, not a battle. Directed in the next part, we'll go deeper, literally, into the digestive system. What happens when the gut can't absorb nutrients properly? Why do some seniors eat well, but still feel weak? The answers may surprise you. So stay tuned, because the more we understand, the more power we have to protect the ones we love. Part 3. The aging gut, why eating well isn't always enough. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen an older loved one eating a relatively healthy diet, balanced meals, good portions, and yet they still seem tired, weak, or even underweight? It doesn't make sense at first. They're eating right, so why are they struggling? Well, the answer may lie beneath the surface, in a place we often overlook, the gut. You see, as we age, it's not just what we eat that matters. It's what our body can actually digest, absorb, and use. And unfortunately, the aging digestive system doesn't always cooperate. Let's start with something that surprises a lot of people. Magnifying glass tilted left, low stomach acid. Sounds strange, right? Most people think indigestion and heartburn are caused by too much acid. But for older adults, the opposite is often true. With age, the body naturally produces less hydrochloric acid, the acid that breaks down food and unlocks nutrients. Without enough stomach acid, our bodies struggle to absorb. Vitamin B12, crucial for brain function and energy. Calcium, essential for strong bones and heart health. Iron, key for oxygen transport and preventing fatigue. Protein, the building block of muscle, skin, and healing. So, even if someone's eating the right foods, they might not be getting what they need. But it doesn't stop there. The pancreas, another key player in digestion, may slow down enzyme production. That makes it harder to digest fats and proteins. The result? Gas, bloating, discomfort, and more importantly, nutrient loss. And then there's the issue of constipation, which affects up to 50% of seniors. Chronic constipation not only causes physical pain, but also reduces appetite, slows down the digestive system, and creates a vicious cycle of poor intake and poor nutrient absorption. Now, here's where it gets inspiring. We can absolutely support the gut to work better. Let's talk strategy. Keycap 1 fiber. But gradually, whole grains like oats, barley, and quinoa, vegetables like spinach, zucchini, and carrots, fruits like pears and berries. All of these help move things along, but only when paired with enough water. Keycap 2 hydration. Older adults often feel less thirsty, but hydration is critical for digestion. A dehydrated gut can't process fiber or flush waste properly. Encourage frequent sips of water, herbal teas, or even hydrating foods like cucumbers and soups. Keycap 3 probiotics. The gut is home to trillions of bacteria that affect not just digestion, but immunity, mental clarity, and even mood. Add fermented foods like yogurt with live cultures, kefir, kimchi, or sauerkraut. These help restore balance and support absorption. Keycap 4 natural acid boosters. A splash of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice in warm water before meals can gently support stomach acid production. Some people find digestive bitters helpful, but always consult a doctor before starting anything new. And here's one more powerful tip. Test tube asks for nutrient blood tests, especially if your loved one shows signs of fatigue, muscle loss, or confusion. Vitamin B12, vitamin D, iron, magnesium, and folate levels can be checked, and if they're low, they can be corrected. Because here's the truth. Nutrition isn't just about eating right. It's about absorbing right. I want to share a quick story. We heard from a viewer named Alan, whose 74-year-old mother was eating well but felt constantly weak. Doctors initially blamed her age. But when Alan pushed for deeper testing, they found she was severely deficient in B12 and had signs of iron malabsorption. With targeted treatment and gut support, within just 8 weeks, She was walking farther, smiling more, and felt like herself again. That's the power of understanding the gut. Let's shift the mindset here. If someone you love is struggling with energy, digestion, or frequent illness, don't assume it's just aging. Ask questions. Explore their gut health. Consider how well their body is absorbing the nutrients they're working so hard to consume. Because when we nourish the gut, we nourish the whole person. Clearer minds, stronger bodies, better days. Direct in the next part, we'll talk about a silent nutritional thief hiding in plain sight: medications. That's right. Common prescriptions could be depleting the very nutrients seniors need to thrive. It's a topic few doctors bring up, but one you need to hear. So stay with me. Your knowledge could protect someone you love more than you know. Part 4. Medications, the silent thief of senior nutrition. Let's talk about something most people never connect to nutrition: prescription medication. We rely on it. We trust it. For millions of older adults, it's a lifeline, helping manage everything from blood pressure and diabetes to heart disease and arthritis. But what if I told you that the very medications keeping our elders alive might also be slowly robbing them of essential nutrients? It sounds dramatic, but it's true. And what's even more concerning, hardly anyone talks about it. Here's what's really happening. As we age, we often take more medications. It's not uncommon for a senior to be on 5, 8, even 10 different prescriptions every day. And while these drugs may help manage chronic conditions, many also interfere with nutrient absorption, digestion, and even appetite. Here's a deeper truth. We are wired to eat together. Humans have shared meals for thousands of years, not just for survival, but for celebration, culture, comfort. When we eat with others, we tend to eat more and better, and we digest better too. It's a full body experience. So let's not just focus on what's on the plate. Let's focus on who is sitting around it. So if you have an elder in your life, ask yourself, white heavy check mark, when was the last time they shared a meal with someone? White heavy check mark, do they light a candle, play music, or sit at a proper table? Or are they standing over a sink eating toast? White heavy check mark, could a small effort, your visit, your phone call, your invitation, make all the difference? The answer is almost always yes. Because in the end, the most nourishing meals are not the ones highest in vitamins, but the ones shared with love. Direct in the next part, we'll bring everything together, the biology, the emotions, the strategies, and show you how to take action today. Whether it's for yourself, your parent, or someone in your care, you'll walk away with a clear, hopeful path forward. Let's turn awareness into action and give our elders the vibrant golden years they truly deserve. Part 6. From awareness to action, your step-by-step senior nutrition game plan. Over the past 5 episodes, we've uncovered something powerful, something hidden in plain sight, that the tiredness, weakness, and disconnection we see in so many older adults isn't always just aging. Sometimes it's a silent crisis called malnutrition, and it's happening even to those who are eating every day. We talk about appetite changes, oral health, digestive decline, medications, and the emotional weight of loneliness. Now, it's time to bring it all together, because awareness without action changes nothing. So in this final part, I want to share with you a practical, step-by-step nutrition plan, designed especially for older adults and their loved ones. Let's take what we've learned and turn it into life-giving momentum. Compass step 1, observation, spot the silent clues. Start by asking the right questions. For yourself or a loved one, have they lost weight unintentionally over the past few months? Are they skipping meals or just nibbling? Have they stopped cooking or showing interest in food? Do they complain of fatigue, dizziness, or brain fog? Do dentures fit poorly, or does chewing seem painful? Are they taking multiple medications daily? These are not signs of laziness or weakness. They're warning lights. And when caught early, they can lead to transformative solutions. Pot of food step 2, redesign the plate. Small changes, big difference. Forget the old rule of 3 big meals a day. That model doesn't always work for older bodies. Instead, white heavy checkmark offers small, frequent meals every 3 to 4 hours. White heavy checkmark focus on nutrient density, not volume. White heavy checkmark make food visually appealing and flavorful. White heavy checkmark incorporates soft textures for dental comfort. White heavy checkmark include protein in every snack. Think Greek yogurt, scrambled eggs, cottage cheese, or a protein smoothie. Try this simple rhythm. Morning, a smoothie with banana, spinach, protein powder, and almond milk. Midday, lentil soup with soft bread. Snack, Greek yogurt with honey and berries. Dinner, salmon mousse, mashed sweet potatoes, and steamed carrots. Evening, warm chamomile tea and a slice of avocado toast. Remember, eating well doesn't mean eating fancy. It means eating with intention. Test tube step 3. Get the right tests. Talk to your healthcare provider and request a senior-focused nutrition panel. Ask specifically to test. Vitamin B12, vitamin D, iron, ferritin, calcium, folate, magnesium, albumin or prealbumin, indicators of protein status. Testing removes guesswork. It helps you build a targeted nutrition strategy and catch deficiencies before they spiral into hospital visits or worse. Brain step 4. Audit the medicine cabinet. Ask the doctor or pharmacist, could any of these medications be affecting appetite, digestion, or nutrient absorption? If so, discuss potential alternatives or supportive strategies, like supplementing lost nutrients or adjusting the timing of doses. Also, keep a list of every medication taken regularly. Bring it to every checkup. That list is more than convenience. It's a roadmap to protecting nutrition. Green salad step 5. Bring back the joy of food. This is emotional, not just biological. Food is memory. Food is love. To restore nutrition, you have to restore the feeling around eating. Try cooking together. Make it a shared event, not a chore. Playing music during mealtime. Sitting at the table with candles or a nice placemat. Inviting neighbors or family to join, even once a week. Watching a favorite show or listening to a podcast while eating if alone. Meal experience matters. People eat better when they feel better about the moment. Telephone receiver step 6. Build the social safety net. If loneliness is part of the picture, you must address it head on. Here's how. Encourage attendance at local senior centers or lunch clubs. Explore Meals on Wheels or local delivery services that also check in on emotional well-being. Set weekly meal dates with family, even if remote. Consider therapy or support groups for elders showing signs of grief or depression. Because mental health and nutrition are inseparable. Red Heart Step 7. Advocate. Be a voice for your parent, your neighbor, your community. Push for nutrition screenings during regular checkups. Challenge the idea that fatigue is normal just because someone is older. Ask questions. Offer help. Share this video. The more we talk about senior nutrition, the more lives we protect. Quietly, powerfully, lovingly. Let me leave you with this. Growing old should not mean growing invisible. It should not mean shrinking into weakness or fading away behind assumptions like, that's just part of aging. Because aging can be beautiful, strong, joyful, nourished, but only if we give it what it needs. And that starts with you. Clapperboard, thank you for watching this series on Gold Zenith Health. I hope you feel empowered, informed, and inspired to make change happen right at the dinner table. Whether for yourself or someone you love, may your next meal be filled not just with food, but with care, with connection, with nourishment in every sense of the word. Stay well, stay strong, and never underestimate the power of a single bite to change a life.